Danger to Mort. Danger to Mort. Well, I'm not particularly good when it comes to languages. Okay, that's wrong. I'm really bad when it comes to languages. But danger to Mort, I pretty much could figure out. Danger, got it, danger. Mort, death. Danger of death. Now you may go, why are you mentioning danger of death? Let me explain. A lot of people ask me why I got into environmentalism, and I really wanted to start saving trees and why I was a tree loving, tree hugging bunny lover. The answer is I don't actually hug trees, to be honest with you. We've been together for 7 or 15 weeks, and I have never hugged a tree. I'm not particularly fond of bunnies either, but I am fond of nature and I'm fond of saving everything. As you've noticed throughout these past few weeks, something like, you know a lot of it, but it's just about saving ourselves. It's about making sure that we all have a good planet to live on. Because if we really want to have a good planet, it's up to us to actually do something about it. What really got me into studying animals and being an environmentalist was danger de mort. Now, back when I was an undergraduate, I got afforded the opportunity to go to Madagascar. For those of you who go, wow, Madagascar, that's fun, that's fascinating, let me point out how clued in I was. I booked a flight to Madagascar, then looked on a map to see where it was. Not a good way to go about it. It's a big island off Africa, if you want to know. If you're wondering, did you go there to dance with the lemurs? Because I've seen Madagascar a few times. No, that's a children's film. But when I went there, I really didn't know what to expect. I was going there to study mouse lemurs, which I'd been doing in a lab already. If you don't know what mouse lemurs are, they're really cute little animals. They're the world's smallest primate. I went there to study them. I had no idea what I was doing. As I said, I just figured out what I was going to do as I got there. I packed my backpack, I landed in the capital, and I noticed it's just dust everywhere, red dust. I walked through the dusty streets of Madagascar depressed. I looked around because I was going there to go to the rainforest, and all I saw was this red dust and some rice paddies. So they said, well, that's in the rainforest. We're in the capital. Let's get moving. So they put me in a car and we started driving. We were driving for an hour after hour after hour through fields of that red dust. Well, where's the rainforest? They went and said, this used to be rainforest, but we cut it down and made rice paddies. The red dust is red clay soil. If you actually look on a satellite map, you can see a red ring around the island of Madagascar because it's actually the red clay soil going into the oceans, which is horribly depressing to even hear about how bad it was. And I'm thinking, this used to be rainforest? I've never been to a rainforest, but I know it should be better than this. After about the 6 hour of driving through dust, I saw a sign, danger do more. I did my quick language skills and went, this can't be good. As we came around the corner, I can tell you it's a real good thing I wasn't driving because if I was driving, we wouldn't be here today because of the danger of death. There was a huge cliff, and you went down that cliff into a rainforest. It had a guardrail. I'm going to use that term loosely. It was like a piece of wood that might have stopped a cricket from going over, but that's about it. We came around, but all I could see in front of me was this gorgeous, lush rainforest. I don't know if you've ever walked into a forest on a hot summer day when you're going from a barren place, but suddenly you feel the moisture. You feel the difference. It suddenly feels cooler. That's what I was enveloped in after hours and hours of this dry dust of former rainforest. All of a sudden, I was surrounded by the coolness and the wonderfulness. It wasn't even just the feeling, it wasn't just the beautiful view, it was the sounds. All of a sudden, the world came alive with just lots of different sounds in ways you can't even explain. It just every little single animal, every single tree, every leaf, the water dripping, everything just bombarded me with this wonderful sensation of this is what nature is. This is what life is. I have found life in the barrenness. At that moment, I will say I was in complete danger of death for me, partially because I would have gone over the cliff, but not really. I then spent time working in the rainforest for the next few months, where literally we were sleeping in a tent with endangered species jumping over me during the day. I can tell you, I fell madly in love with Madagascar, and I knew what I had to do. I had to do something in order to save it. So I said, I'm going to go keep studying mouse lemurs. I'm going to save the world by being a mouse lemur expert. Now, here's the thing about mouse lemur experts. I am one and nobody cares because it is not a field anyone's looking into. At the time, I thought, well, maybe I'll keep doing my research. I'll see what I can do. And then one night, I was sitting up alone, and because I was the only one staying up at night, mouse lemurs are nocturnal. As I was sitting there doing my research, I looked in the distance. I saw smoke. I realized they were burning the rainforest. Now, I can sit there and I got angry. Why would they kill this beautiful stuff? And then I remembered the people who were burning the rainforest were burning it to grow crops for their families wouldn't die. They needed that food. They needed that money. They didn't want to kill the rainforest. They loved the rainforest, but they had to survive. I went, well, why would they cut down that forest? The answer is, well, they cut down the forest to send those trees overseas to make paper. And I'm like, wait, maybe we should look at the people who are not burning the trees, but the people who are making the paper. I mean, if someone's cutting down a tree, you can go to them and say, hey, dude, stop cutting down that tree. But as soon as you turn around, he's going to cut down the tree if he wants to cut down the tree. He's got to do it for a reason, right? So I said, okay, so I can't go to him and say, stop cutting down the tree. Who am I going to talk to? Well, who's he selling the tree to? Well, for that, we have to look at the people who want the fax paper. So maybe if I go to the people who want the fax paper and say, stop faxing things, note, this was a few years ago and people still faxed. I know they don't do it anymore. Continue. I said, well, we'll have to talk to them and get them to stop doing that. And that's when I realized the place where I could make a difference was going and talking to people who were doing the waste, not the person who's cutting down the tree. You can chain yourself to a tree, as some people do, but it only works as long as you're chained to the tree. By the way, the person will just go cut down another tree while you're not looking. What we really need to do is focus on the people who are doing the problems or causing the person to want to cut down the tree. That's where I started going, this is what I have to do. This is how I can start changing the world. This is what I can do for Danger Do More. When I came back from Madagascar that time, I had malaria, by the way. And everyone said, oh my God, you're never going back there. I said, no, I'm in love with that place. I'll keep going back there. People started saying, well, aren't you afraid you're going to die? I thought of that sign, Danger Do More. And I thought, no, I'm not afraid I'm going to die of some tropical disease. I'm afraid this entire planet's going to die if we don't start doing something about it. That's the Danger Do More I'm concerned about. I, by the way, went back and I got another horrible disease. But, and I have to admit, I haven't been back there since, but I would go back in a heartbeat because it's one of those most wonderful places. And if you ever have a chance, I do suggest you go. I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to work on the danger to more we all have. That's what I want you guys to think about this last week. Think about what your concern is. What danger do more? Are you concerned? Throughout the past term, we've talked about the chemicals you're putting on your body, the chemicals you're putting in your body. We've been talking about climate effects and what we're doing as far as wasting energy. We're talking about how much money you're spending just putting things into your life that waste money and hurt the earth. We've gone through a lot of different things, and that's what I want to know about you. Has anything struck you? Do you have a danger to more? Is there a concern you have? Have we inspired you at all this term in order to start making changes in your life? Don't feel bad about saying, yes, I've started to saving energy because you showed me how much money I can save. If that's what works for you, that's fine. I have no problem with earning money as long as we're not earning money destroying the planet. So let's all start working together. I really want to hear from you and put this in your final toolkit of yours. All the stuff we've done all term, I want that in the toolkit, of course, but I also want you to put a little bit about what your danger do more is. What are you going to do? What is our tipping point? Are you going to start helping to make that change? I hope you enjoyed hearing my background and my story, and I really want to hear yours. Thanks.